Okay, you guys have been asking a lot for how we make our lemonade. That's what we call it, lemonade. It's a very refreshing drink that we enjoy with meals or any other time, so I'm going to show you how I do it. I like using these big half-gallon jars because I have an abundance of them. I make 2 of them when I'm making this for our family, so a full gallon. I use this Costco, we get this at Costco. It is just 100% organic lemon juice, nothing else in it. This is a 1/4 cup. A 1/2 teaspoon of stevia. And then I fill it the rest of the way with water. That's all we do. It is very, very mildly sweet. It's mostly just like a lemon water, but without that kind of tartness of a lemon water. So it's very, very yummy. It's our favorite, easy, cheap drink to have all summer.
Okay, so right now I am making butter, and I'm starting out by skimming the milk for the cream. I'm putting the cream straight into my mixer. So I don't know if you can see, but there's about that much cream left. I like to leave a little bit on. Here it is.
I have gotten a lot of requests for my peanut butter granola recipe, and so I'm going to show you how I make this today. I always do it a little bit differently, and I'll explain that to you each time I make it depending on what I have on hand, but the basic recipe is the same. Also, I like to make it when I have a new jar to open because natural peanut butter is, when you first open it, it's very fluid and oily. You have to mix it, and it also makes it very easy to mix in here. I had someone ask me about why I keep my peanut butter in the refrigerator, and actually, if you look on the label of your natural peanut butter, you will see it says stir well, refrigerate after opening. So I think here in America, we are so used to not natural peanut butter that can sit on a pantry shelf that we automatically think all peanut butter should sit on a pantry shelf, and it's actually not the case for natural peanut butter. So stick it in your refrigerator if you have some. Let me show you how I go ahead and stir when I open a new jar of peanut butter. I feel like there's always a little bit too much oil, so I pour off just a tiny bit into the trash before I mix it in.
Yeah.
Okay, I probably only poured about a teaspoon off. And actually, I knew a woman who poured all the oil off, and she would put in a healthy oil like flaxseed oil or something instead of the oil that came in with it, and stir that in just to get some extra nutrients in, but...
Well, Samuel would like that.
Yeah.
He would have a lot of nutrients.
I don't know.
He eats peanut butter plain.
He does. He really likes peanut butter. Okay,
I think it's
so
too
that's it.
sticky.
You just want to make sure that you're getting your butter knife all the way down
Dry.
to that bottom to
That
pull
looks
the bottom
hard.
up, because that's the part that tends to dry out if you don't get that oil mixed all the way down.
Is that hard?
It's a little bit stuck right there in that spot.
Yeah.
Another woman I know, actually, in her pantry, before she stirs, you know, when she just buys it from the store, she stores it upside down so that all the oil goes to the bottom of it, and you don't have that problem. But I just found that I don't know, it made too big of a mess for me. So that's it. That's all I do. Look at the size of this bowl. This is, I think it's 30 quarts. My family bought this for me a year or so ago. And I like to pull it out whenever I'm making huge batches of granola like I am today. So this recipe calls for 6 cups of oats, rolled oats, and I am making a triple batch, so I'm going to use 18 cups of rolled oats.
18 cups, that's a lot. Can I do it?
Yes.
Have you gotten the cup?
No, the measuring cup is dirty.
I got a measuring cup.
You want to count 18 of those? Let's do it this way.
Yeah.
My big measuring cup is dirty, but
18.
you know what? We can just use this. This filled all the way up is 8 cups.
Wow.
So why don't we do it like that, just to be fast about it.
18, 6. That's spilling a lot.
So that's 8. So 2 of these will be 16
No, that's
cups.
one.
We need 18 cups.
Then I'll do this.
How many more of those will we need? If this is
16.
if this is 16,
Two more.
yeah, we need 2 more. Put 2 more in there. We don't have to be exact about this. It's granola.
2. Yeah. Should I put it in?
Elsie's going to put 2 sticks of butter in here, and then for the third portion I'm going to do oil. But she's going to get these 2 sticks of butter in because we want to melt the butter and the honey and the peanut butter. We just want to melt it all together. So get those 2 in there, Elsie. And where's that measuring cup you just had? Fingers out.
Measuring cup. But I can help.
So we're going to do 2 sticks of butter plus an additional cup of avocado oil. And I'm going to sit down here. If you're ever doing oil and honey and you do the oil first, it just helps the honey to slide out so much easier. So let's do that.
Oh, that sounded so cool.
And now I'm going to put in,
Honey.
let's see, it calls for 2/3 cup of honey.
So that'll be 3/3 cup of honey.
Nope, more than that.
I know.
2/3. Elsie is just learning fractions.
Yeah.
2 for 6/3. 6/3 is the same as how many threes? How many groups of threes fit into 6?
3. Oh, 2.
2.
2. So this is the same as 2 cups.
Someone.
Okay, so normally I mix the peanut butter in here too to melt. You're okay, sweetie. But I used too small of a pan. I forgot that I was making a triple batch. So there was no room in there for the peanut butter, and I was already committed. I didn't want to wash 2 pans. But that's okay because my peanut butter is just mixed and it's nice and runny, so I don't think it'll make a difference that it didn't melt. So we'll just do it like this. We need 3 cups of peanut butter. I think Lydia wants me to hold her. You can see I'm not very exact about this. And I think it's probably going to be under 3 cups to do this entire, I see you, James, to do this entire jar. So we're just going to do the jar and call it good. Close enough. So now the trick just comes of getting it all out of there. I'm going to have to pause and hold Lydia because she wants me.
She's crawling.
While I was taking care of Lydia, my hungry family came in, saw that granola, finished mixing it, and filled up bowls. It's not baked or anything, but they do not care. They were so excited. So here, everybody took a bowl, and here's what's left. They mixed it together, and now I'm going to put the remainder on trays and bake it in the oven. The benefit, of course, of baking it is that it dries it out, so you can store it in jars or a Ziploc bag. Or okay, I am clearly not a food blogger. Is that what they're called? Food bloggers? I'm not one. I said to myself, I probably should re-record that entire video because that was so confusing and I got interrupted by kids several times and I didn't even show you everything. But I may never do it if I wait to re-record it. So let's just put it as it is. Let me give you a recap now on what is supposed to go into this granola. 6 cups of oats, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. You can mix that all together. Then on your stove, melt 2/3 cup of honey, a cup of peanut butter, and a stick of butter or coconut oil, or you can do half butter, half oil. Are you wanting to be part of this video? Mwah.
I don't know.
And then sometimes I put a little extra actually, so it depends how dry you want your granola. So today I actually put a little more than that. Melt that. Just when it's melted, mix the whole thing together. Then you bake it in the oven on a baking tray with an edge, obviously, or it's going to be falling off the side. 325 degrees for around 20 minutes in the oven, and then I shut the oven off, and I typically will just let it sit there. Basically, you're just wanting to bake it enough that it gets hard so it loses its stickiness, because that makes it easy to store. You can put it in a jar or even a Ziploc bag, whatever you have, Tupperware, and you can store it in your pantry. My kids like it with yogurt, or they'll pour milk over the top. So this is a treat granola. I consider this kind of like a dessert because it's sweet and yummy, and it is not, I didn't soak the oats or anything, and so it's a special treat that we have, and we do like it. Now, it's out of the oven. This is what it looks like. I let it cool already, and then you can see how it's just stuck to the pans. So you can see I just kind of start breaking it up.
Start breaking it up.
Yep. And then it is ready to put into a jar or whatever you want to use to store it. After everything my family ate, I ended up with almost 2 of these big jars left, so I will put those in the pantry, and that will be a yummy breakfast or snack in the next couple of weeks. It would all be gone in a day if I didn't hide it, but you know, moms have to do what they have to do, so that will go into the back of the pantry so that I can rotate it out once in a while and have some variety. The kids really like this. It's a fun, yummy treat and very filling. So thank you so much for tolerating my food videos. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so I appreciate you hanging around and sticking with us, and I will see you tomorrow.